Hey, what's going on, St. Louis? Grab a friend and bring him in. Tag a friend and bring him in. That's what we got to do, you all. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. What's going on out there, y'all? Oh, it's been a busy week. All kinds of things are happening. Brother Anthony Shaheed is on what? Special assignment.
Yes.
All right, then. He'll be back next week. And now I'm joined with Felicia Hampton. This is my main girl. Here's my main lady, whatever you want to call her. But she is the one, she is the straw that stirs the shake. She keeps all of us together because, you know, we're wayward. And so we have a tendency to go off this way and go off that way. Sister Felicia Hampton kind of puts her arm around everybody and says, all right, now come on, let's come on back in. Now come on back in. Right. How we doing this morning?
I'm doing excellent. Good morning, St. Louis. Go ahead and tag a friend and bring them in. I'm doing excellent, Mary. Today is a beautiful day, and I'm just excited to be here and just to talk about what we have lined up for today.
Absolutely. And, of course, we couldn't have the show without the infamous Bombay Boski in the background on the ones and twos and doing all the production for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
A lot of times people don't understand it takes a lot to put a radio show together. That's if you want to try to do it right, and that's what we try to do here at the Bosley Show, because we've got cameras, we've got lights, we got TV now, we got it all thanks to one of our great sponsors, and we'll tell you about that later. But Bombay Boski takes all of that, puts it all together, and produces a great show for us. So, Mr. Boski, we want to thank you. We really appreciate it.
We're on Facebook, guys. We're on YouTube. So you can go over and follow us on Facebook. Make sure you like it, tag it, share it, follow it.
Let's get it.
You got to get it right.
Like
get it right.
Tag it. Share it. Follow it.
Follow.
All right.
And that is on Facebook, but we're also on YouTube. So head on over to our channel. Make sure you subscribe. We are live on there every Wednesday for the pre-recording of this show. And then you all will get the edited version on Saturday morning. So continue to tune in on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah Praise. But also follow us if you want to be a part of the discussion on Wednesday evenings when we go live and we record the show.
That's right. And I do want to say that we are still developing and fine-tuning the show. We know that it has been a while that you all have not been able to interact with us. I don't like it. None of us like that.
Yeah.
We want to be able to interact with you because that's part of the that's part of the fanfare of it. That's part of the the interaction is a part of the dialogue where we all can go back and forth. We like the exchange.
Yes.
We don't want to just be out here talking to you. We want you to be able to talk back because we want to talk back to you too. So we're working on it. We've got some things that we've got to acquire here in the studio, but hopefully we'll be able to bring that to you at some point. So just bear with us. We haven't forgotten. You know, every day somebody says, "Man, when am I gonna be able to call in? You know, when am I gonna be able to talk? I got something I want to say." Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna give it to you.
Yes.
We're going to give it to you.
And although it's not quite as exciting as calling in, you can always head over to our page and drop a comment.
Oh, yes.
And say, where are you calling from? Where are you listening from?
Right.
Where did you tune in from? Let us know, like, how far are we reaching? I know before we had went all the way over, we had a number of people from Nigeria. And Ghana. And so let us know. Head over to Facebook right now and let us know where you're listening from. We'd like to know.
That's right. And with the internet now, the show is growing by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
You know, no longer are we confined to the St. Louis catchment area. We can our reach is broad.
Yes.
Our reach is broad, like Felicia said. She's already been in Ghana. People in Ghana listening to us, and that surprised me. And like there's some people in Nigeria listening to us.
Yes.
That surprised me, you know, that they would be able to stumble across this show like that because we didn't call them. We didn't tell them.
Yes.
We didn't send them the information. They found it on their own. So, and that's a good thing. And so now they are sharing it with their friends over there. So help us grow. Help us grow. Be part of it. Be part of the Bosley Show. And you can say, I did it. Yes, you did. You did it because we didn't.
That's right.
You did it because we didn't. So please help us out. Help us out. We truly will appreciate it. Right now, though, I want to talk about those of you that have been living under a rock somewhere still don't get it. You still don't understand the deaths from the virus, from the coronavirus, the deaths from the coronavirus. In 2021, that's this year, they have surpassed the total of 2020. And we still got October, November, and December. That's 3 months. Still 3 months remaining, and we have surpassed the deaths from last year. And that's when it first started. And we have reasons for that, because now we've been on notice. So now we got to talk to the hard-headed people. Yeah. Now we got to talk to the hard-headed people. In the history of the pandemic, 2020 will be remembered as the most disruptive year ever. A time when the coronavirus shut down businesses, schools, sports, travel, and many other staples of life. But 2021, listen to me, 2021 has surpassed 2020. Now, you would say, well, how come? How come we didn't surpass? Well, we surpassed it because you're hard-headed. Yes. Yeah, you are. You're hard-headed. You won't take the shot. Yeah, no, you won't take the shot. Now, and for whatever reason, you're still walking around here, wandering around, talking about, we got the conspiracy theorists. We got the people that are into the First Amendment rights and all of that. Yeah, but still, we got the Republicans, unmasked. We got Democrats, some Democrats, but the thing remains, there are 70 million of you characters out there. Yes. 70 million. 70 million of you people are walking around. 70 million of the people who are eligible to receive a free shot. It doesn't cost a dime. 70 million of you have left the country. See, we're vulnerable because of your inaction. See, you think that this is your individual right. Yeah, it is to a certain extent, but in terms of what it does to all of us, you put us all at risk. You put us all at risk. 70 million of you wandering around out there. What are you doing? You just don't get it, do you? You got to get that shot in your arm. And guess what? Some of the people that you know, they're dying. Yeah, they're dying. You can still catch the virus if you get the shot, but it won't be as bad. And this new virus is really the Delta, what do they call it? The hyper-infectious Delta variant. Now that's the one. Now that's the one that'll get you. Now that's even stronger. That's even stronger than the coronavirus. I feel sorry for you. You stumble across that one, you're going to be in bad shape, buddy. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And it continues to adapt and find new victims. It's still going on, friends. It's going on. 2020, yeah, that was murder on us, right? Because we just not experiencing it. So we twisted in the wind in 2020 because we don't know which way to turn. We don't know. Government was lax. Trump didn't want to get out ahead of it. You hear what I'm saying? And so he waited, talking about it's only going to be 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people impacted or dying from it. It was 600,000. Huh? Yeah, it was. Yes. Fooling around with this virus. Yeah. And see, the problem is we can do something about this. We can do something about this.
I think it's key and important to add, too, that even though folks are not getting the vaccination, they're also not wearing a mask. When the science has shown that if you wear your mask in public places and crowded places, then it can combat the spread of this virus. And so you have some who are electing not to even wear their mask. They're electing not to even just try to do their part.
Right, try to do their part. Right? Yeah. Cooperate, that's what they're talking about. That's what it takes. Yeah. There is no I in team. You are here asserting individual rights, But there's no I in team. What about the rest of us? What about your family? What about the people that you love? What are you thinking about them? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get you. And I hope it doesn't. I'm not wishing it on nobody because I've had it. I don't wish it on anybody. But I'm telling you, when it gets you, boy, it's got you. It's gonna take you going for a ride. You going for a real ride, and it's not pretty. I mean, it has you for about 3 weeks. Normally, if you're sick, you figure I can pull myself together 3-4 days. I'll be in the bed, and then I'll do a little something, take some juice or whatever. Let some people doctor on me. Then I'm back on the road again. No, this one, it gets you, and it holds you. It holds you. I mean, it holds you there. And here's the key on it. When you got it, it looks like there is no relief in sight. Because when you're sick other ways, you can kind of feel yourself getting better. You feel I'm coming. You say I'm coming back this way, so that's relief for you. With this, it gets you and it just holds you.
Yeah,
it holds you.
Yeah.
It holds you, and you don't. It just holds you, and you don't feel you don't feel like you're getting better because you're not. It just holds you, and at that point, you may get worse, and then you're on a slippery slope. Then.
Yeah, many people don't, that I've talked to, didn't even have the energy to get up out the bed.
I'm telling you.
And, we just had to encourage them, like, get up and move, because one thing I was told is that if you do get COVID, you do not want to just lay there and let it take hold of you. You have to force yourself to get up out that bed and get moving around.
That's right.
But to prevent it, put that face mask on, social distance, and consider getting that vaccination.
That's right. Thank you, Felicia. Now, we're going to get off that soapbox because I know they're tired of hearing us say, Bosley, why don't you just be quiet? It's time for a break. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on lock. Quit playing!
Right. I should have sung it in a cappella. Hey, Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and make sure that you share this stream. We want to give a couple of shout outs, and we're going to shout them out on air too. Linda Robinson is always on our page.
All right.
She's always following us. And Alderwoman. Alderwoman. Shameen Clark Hubbard is always.
She's still with us.
She's still hanging with us.
Shameen, what's going on with you, girl?
Sister Linda Robinson has liked already and shared the stream 4 or 5 times already, and so we just thank you. Thank you.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to the Boys and Girls Center, and we just appreciate what you're doing down there. And so thank you. Make sure that if you don't know, Sister Linda, we are on YouTube. So we appreciate if you can share that information too. And we thank you. See who all has tuned in. I'm trying to see who all has tuned in so I can say hello.
Yeah, say hi.
Because right now we have 2.
Say hi.
2 viewers in the question.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yes.
That's what we do. Yeah. While Felicia's looking for that, I want to just say, don't forget. Open house and ribbon cutting ceremony at the Jubilee Community Church up on Grant and Carter. And this is the grand opening for the mental health and addiction treatment services. It's for mental health and addiction treatment services. Yeah. Now, y'all know somebody that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you probably got some in your household there. But walk them on around, take them on around. You just can't let them keep wandering around. And, you dismiss them. They got a few little problems, and maybe not all the way off, but they may just have a little touch, need a little therapy. Take them on up there. Just need a little therapy. Take them on up there and see. It's free. It's free for, it's health, mental health. And that's a big problem in our community, mental health. All you got to do is come outside. If you're up on Grand and Natural Bridge, you walking around, you don't see a few little characters up there. Yes, you are. You're gonna see a few characters.
And the thing about it is, sometimes it's so difficult to get your loved one to go, and then when you take them, if they don't want to stay, the facility won't keep them. they will not keep them if they do not want to stay. They can't make them stay by force unless they are going to think they're going to harm someone,
right,
or harm themselves. And so sometimes we have to just kind of start off by saying, hey, let's sit down and talk with someone. Maybe running them straight to the facility might not be their answer, because I've seen so many times when people's like, I'm trying to get my daughter or my son or, my husband to get some help, and they keep refusing. I've seen them take them to the emergency room, and the emergency room is saying, hey, we can't make them stay. We can't make them stay. So there need to be some rules. It seems like the rules are set around once you injure someone or once you injure yourself, when you can get the help.
Well, that's a little bit,
that's
it's
a little
not
too
late, but it has caused a reaction, and
Yes.
it has caused harm.
So we got to change some policies. We got to change some policies, guys. You got to get out here and advocate.
Okay.
All right. So
Let's
we're going
do
to
it.
give a shout out to, give us one second.
Oh, shout out to Davis.
Yes, sir.
Davis is going. What's going on, Davis? You been listening? Are you listening? Huh? All right, you gonna help us out, Davis? Tell some friends. Tag a friend and bring him in. Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Help us out, Davis. Come on now, you can do it.
Yes.
All right,
And throw up some hearts.
Yeah.
We going back in, guys.
Yeah,
Stay
come
with
on.
us.
Let's do it.
All right, quiet on set. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600 Hallelujah AM. We were putting down some conversation about that virus. And I know you didn't want to hear it. I know you're saying, Bosley, we doing something else. I ain't on that right now, but you need to be. Yeah, you need to be on it, and you need to stay on it, because people are dying. And I want to tell you, it's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up. If you haven't gotten that inoculation, it's going to catch up with you. And it's not going to be pretty.
I think it's important to note, too, that the booster has been approved for Pfizer. And so those who are eligible can walk in. You don't have to have an appointment. They have approved it. They're saying and recommending that the CDC has recommended that the following groups receive a third shot of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine at least 6 months after their last vaccination. So people that are age 65 and older, residents age 18 years and older in long-term care settings, people age 50 to 64 years with underlying medical conditions. They're recommending that you receive that booster.
Yep. Probably have to get that booster. Get that booster. Yeah. I was before we went off, or while we were off, I was talking about this open house and ribbon cutting ceremony. The open house and ribbon cutting ceremony at the Jubilee Community Church up on Grand and Carter. Up there, they've got mental health experts up there to give you treatment, and they've got drug addiction experts up there to give you treatment. And it's right in our neighborhood.
Yes.
It's right up on ground. I guess a good landmark for you would be Grand and Natural Bridge, Fairground Park. You just come on up there. These are nice people. They're very friendly. They're not stuck up. They're down to earth. They'll help you. They'll greet you, and they'll help you. So come on up and take a look. Come on up and talk to them. And you've got to call a lady named Chase Martinson. Chase Martinson at 314-920-0104. 0104.
Yes.
So come on now. You know you got some people. You know somebody that's got a little. Not playing with a full deck. Some people, the elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, but they need help, and you love them, but you don't know what to do. This is right in the neighborhood, right in the community. You can walk right on up there, or you can drive right up. They got parking. They got a big old parking lot. You just pull right in and say, well, let's go on in here and talk to some of these people and see what they got to say. Let's go on in there and talk to them and see what they got to say. It
And
doesn't
that'll
hurt,
be awesome.
and it's free. They're not gonna tax you. They're gonna ask you for they're not gonna ask you for any money. They want to help you. They want to help you.
I was going to say, I know in healthcare we always say that hypertension is a silent killer. And Dr. Marty Casey with Ungun Institute put on Facebook earlier this week that mental illness can be a silent killer. Speak up so we can hear you. And so it's important that you take this phone number down. We're going to have Mary give it to you again.
Yes.
Because if you're right there on Grant or in the vicinity, then you definitely want to get access to help for your loved one before it's too late.
Call Chase Martinson. Chase Martinson at 314-920-0104. That's 314-920-0104. They're there to help. They're there to help. And look what we in Blue, the senator in.
Blue West Fence?
Carla May is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been sitting here all the time while y'all was talking.
Oh, well, Carla May is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined by the senator. Now, you don't
You gotta
understand.
say it right. The senator. Come on. You gotta say it. The senator.
The senator
so correct.
is in the house. Yeah, and see, they don't understand Carla May.
Way with Senator Carla May.
It's only, 34 senators?
Yes, 34 senators
34,
in the state.
34 in the whole state of Missouri. 34 represent what's our population, about 10 million, whatever. It's only 34 senators.
6.1 million according to the last
Oh,
census.
6.1 million. Okay, so she is one of 34.
Yes.
That means we're honored.
Yes.
We're honored to
Yes.
have
Yes.
one of 34 of the most powerful people in the state. See,
In the
because
state of
she's black and she's smiling and she's pretty, y'all take it for granted. I don't. I know what she can do. I know. I've seen her in action. And so we need to protect her. We need to support her. We need to let her know that we love her. See, that's what that means. That's what that means. And so, Carla May, I know there's some things that have been going on you might want to tell the people about a little bit. You want to talk about stuff now, or you want to talk about it a little later?
Well, I'm just going to sit and talk about it a little later. It's a lot. I'm reeling. I've been in meetings since 8 o'clock this morning. And so it's just, it's a lot of what we call problems out there that need to be solved. People
Yes.
are having, challenges, what we call navigating the political and state government spectrum right now.
Well-
And a lot of these things that are happening that's coming up right now, some of the major issues that's coming up, are, these distribution licenses for the marijuana distribution licenses. All of this stuff is coming
Are
up.
we still working on that? I thought that had been resolved.
No, it's not resolved.
Okay.
And you will be amazed at some of the things that's going down.
Well, I
So-
know it's been discriminatory. I know they have not been
Yes.
fair in terms of number of minorities that could have gotten some of those licenses, and they didn't. They
That's
did
right.
not get them.
And not even only that, they're trying to eliminate them at this point right now. So
yeah.
even the little that did get in. So we got some challenges that we're working on. I mean, I believe in business and fair market. I just don't understand the the part where, we're trying to exclude communities.
Yeah.
And so that's some of the things that we're, working on today as well. So it's a lot of stuff going on. But, I'm going to let you guys continue, and I'm going to jump in and out.
Okay. Well, I got something
as
for you
we
to
go.
jump in on right now. Yeah, I got something for you to jump in on right now, and everybody needs to be paying attention to this. Listen up. Our city, St. Louis, ranked number one. Yes, we led the charge. We ranked number one, the least safe city in America. And I ain't nothing to be proud about. We always number one. We at the top for everything, all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons, we're at the top. Right now, we are ranked the least safe city in America. Who wants to claim that crown? Huh? Who wants to claim that crown? The least safe city in America. This was on KMOX the other day. The findings of a new study didn't fare well for St. Louis, as the city was named the 2021 least safe city in America. And these are some of the things that they took account. The study took in account things like COVID deaths, assaults, unemployment rate, road quality in that pill. Yeah, well, you know the roads are terrible. All you got to do is ride down the street. You're going to hit a pothole, and some of these potholes will mess your car up. You hear me?
Tear the front end off.
This report found that St. Louis ranked last among more than 180 cities. This wasn't just no little bitty survey. This was something that was in depth. They looked at 180 cities in this country, 180 of them. Let me tell you where we are. We ranked 180th. Listen to this. 180th in traffic fatalities per capita. Now, that's 180. Now, you know, and you've seen it. We got people flying around here. Huh? Yes, we do. We got people flying around here, won't slow down. Running, look at temptation, say, running through the city, going nowhere fast. Yeah. That ain't, you're not going anywhere. But why are you in such a hurry? You're not going anywhere. And so what happens? You're going to hit somebody. You're going to hit somebody's car. Or even worse than that, you're going to hit a person. Can you imagine that? Hitting a person, hitting a human being, and you kill them. So we at the bottom. We bringing up the bottom. 180 cities. We rank 180 in traffic fatalities per capita.
Well, you know, it's a backstory, you know, to all of, you know, I think the news that we're getting in St. Louis City. And I don't know if it's tied to, you know, they started a interim committee based on, you know, the tagline, crime and us being this unsafe city. And so this interim committee.
Who started it?
Well, the state did. So the president pro tem of the Senate decided to do an interim committee, and it's called the Emerging Issues, St. Louis Area Emerging Issues Committee.
Are you on?
And let me get that right. Yeah, I'm on the committee.
Okay.
You know, I got on the committee for the simple reason, you know, I'm trying to figure out what would be the purpose, you know, the agenda of the committee. So we had a 5-hour hearing.
5 hours?
Yes.
Y'all were together for 5 hours.
5-hour hearing. And, you know, they had, so let me give you the backstory on the, first of all, let me get the committee correct. So we had a 5-hour hearing. This was Franklin County, Jefferson County, St. Charles County got together and decided that they wanted to, you know, talk about St. Louis area. That's what they said.
They took it upon themselves.
Right. And so the committee is called the Greater St. Louis Regional Emerging Issues Committee. And so basically in this committee, you know, a lot of things came out. I'm still not sure of the intent of the committee, but anyway, in the committee, it came out that they had basically been meeting 2 years, those entities, St. Charles, Jefferson, and Franklin, in reference to the Greater St. Louis Regional area. But in the committee, it turned out that they're really focused on St. Louis City.
Yeah, and they've been, are you saying that they've been meeting without people knowing about it?
Absolutely. So they have not been meeting with, you know, St. Louis City. Our meeting was held in St. Charles.
To talk about St. Louis.
To talk about St. Louis. And, you know, it was a fact-finding, you know, listening session for me because, you know, we're trying to determine, okay, crime has been a problem in St. Louis City, but it hasn't just become a problem. And so I'm interested in any solutions, viable solutions as to, you know, how do we resolve the crime issue. And so most of it was targeted at, well, you know, they were talking about the airport. Well, I don't know how the airport has crime. You know, they said it should be regional. Okay. And then, you know, we were talking about, you know, St. Louis City Police Crime Database and how, you know, that can be, you know, utilized regionally. So, so when you're talking, so when I see, news articles and extra news articles, talking about crime in St. Louis City, because the instance that I got in, just from some of the testimony was about, how do we basically take over? You get me? And so, but what's interesting to me is nobody was talking regionalism when we had other regional things, at stake. I remember we were talking about the St. Louis Zoo. Everybody that visited the zoo, none of the other regions wanted to participate financially in that. When we were talking about redoing the arch, none of them wanted to participate financially in that. And so I can go on and on and on. So yes, I do think that people within the city and everybody that's committing the atrocities that's happening in the city, need to stop. That's an understatement. But we also need to figure out how to solve some of the unsolved crimes, And then they wanted to say, well, it's a prosecutor issue. I say, well, the prosecutor's only been there 5 years. You got police officers that's been on the force 40 years. And we got these unsolved crimes that's been going on. So you tell me, how does that correlate? So, so those are some of the things that we discuss. So when you're talking about that, in KMOX, I think about, this 2 years of meeting to talk about an issue that didn't involve the people from St. Louis City to talk about it. You got me?
But they weren't meeting in their official capacity. They were just coming together to talk about these things because if they're meeting in official capacity, that gives rise to sunshine, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does, but like I said, it just came out in the testimony, that they had been meeting, for 2 years.
Clandestine.
Which was shocking to me. And so, like I said, I am interested, and I hope everybody else, is too, in providing viable solutions to the problem that we have in crime. And I really think it goes back to something that you did, because it hit me the other day when you were mayor. And that was that block by block situation.
Yes.
And somebody asked me, what can I do? I said, well, everybody wants to jump out and say, I want to run for office. I want to do this. But who knows you on your block?
Right.
What's the DNA of your block? And if people want to start to control issues in crime and be a part of their neighborhood, my mom and them started right on the block.
On the block.
Started having block meetings with the 10 and 15 houses. And then it grew. Everybody started to come to these meetings on a regular basis. And then we began to discuss, trash in the alleys. How do we get grass cutting? How do we get just the minor, and the issues just grew. And then the committee of people that was on the block began to solve the issues.
Right.
How do we prevent who's causing the crime on our block? What is the gunfire? So all of that began to be addressed by the community in that aspect. And if we take that block by block approach and individuals decide to discover the DNA of their block, then I think we'll get somewhere in solving crimes. Nobody is getting ready to come in and save anybody from anything.
Right.
It's time for people to starting on their block and getting involved and understanding what we're going through right now. It's atrocity. Our vote is our currency. And we know that even though the numbers don't show in St. Louis City is saying that we lost residents, we know that we got these same people still there. They just didn't fill out those census papers. They just weren't counted. Because if you look at the demographics and the numbers of percentage, you never got to 100% of participation. That's right. So we know we got people that weren't counted. And so we have them there, but what they don't understand is now your representation is getting ready to be affected because they're getting ready to redraw these lines.
Yes.
You get me?
Right.
And so the city, when you're talking about this 26,000 people that you done lost, you have two senators representing the city. That's going to affect your representation.
Yes, your boundaries are going to be drawn out further.
The boundaries are going to be drawn out further.
That's right.
And so you're talking about all politics are local, and who represents you? Somebody outside of your community.
That's right.
Is probably going to be representing you because of not participating. So we have to realize that our vote is our currency, and we have to take charge of what's happening in our city because ain't nobody getting ready to come in and save it.
Well,
So.
that reminds me of this story that I can't remember. I think it was Frederick Douglass at the Atlantic Exposition in about 1864, 1865, and he told a story about a ship that was lost at sea. And they were all on the ship, and the captain and the crew were needing water. They were thirsty. They were just on the brink of dying. And so a ship comes out on the horizon, and the captain says, "Send a message, send a message." And the guy gets up, starts sending the message out, and the captain's message is, "Water, water, we need water." And the message came back, "Cast your bucket down where you are." He said, "What's wrong with that guy? That guy's obviously don't understand. We need water." He said, "Send the message again. Water, water, we need water." And the message came back again, "Cast your bucket down where you are." And he said, "This guy must be out of his mind talking about cast our buckets down." They didn't know that they had drifted into an area where it was just fresh water. They didn't know. So he was telling them, cast your buckets down where you are. And so what you're talking about, block by block, cast your buckets down. Don't be waiting for somebody to come from Washington, D.C. Don't be waiting for somebody to come from Jefferson City. Don't be waiting for people to come from all over to help you. Cast your bucket down.
That's right.
Cast them down right now. Cast the buckets down where we are. Cast them down in our block. Cast them down in our neighborhoods. Cast them down and start talking to people. That's the only way we're going to solve a lot of these issues.
That's right. And collective minds together.
Right.
Think about, the word. It said one can put 1,000 at flight, but two can put 10,000 at flight.
That's right.
If we just be willing to collectively have a conversation
That's right.
and talk about that common ground things that we want. Everybody wants safe communities, better schools, clean neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
Let's work together to do that.
That's right.
We reasonable people should agree that that's what they reasonably want. Let's look and make sure that our cars are not being broken into.
God.
If you watching my car, I'm watching your car. We all got these Ring cameras. How can we help each other and prevent the people who are coming to threaten the DNA of our block?
That's right.
We have to cast them buckets down
Cast
where we
where
are,
we are.
so
That's
that
right.
we can move forward and we can have an excellent report, a better report. Our report won't sound like this report that you're
Yeah,
reading
this is
right
terrible.
now.
This is
You
terrible.
can change. You can change. And that's what we
Time
have
for
to
a
talk
break.
about.
That's right. We talk about, and let's keep talking about it. And we're going to keep on talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a break. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Playing. Now, we also rank 173rd in assaults. We at the bottom. We're 7 from the bottom in assaults. 173rd out of 180 cities. I mean, people need to listen to this. Pay attention. Out of 180 cities in America, we are 173 in assaults. More assaults than anybody. More assaults than 172 other cities. Yeah. How about that? More assaults than 172 other cities. We got to do something about it.
We have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And parents have to become accountable for their young adult children.
Jesus, yes.
We need to stop. These young men have to stop. We have to help them. You have to go get them and connect them with resources and get them in positions where they can sustain themselves and have jobs where they won't be in this poverty situation and all of this violence is unnecessary. They need emotional support.
Yes, they do.
To get control of their emotions and all of that. And the only person that's going to be able to do that, mothers. We have to go get our sons and our daughters. Simple.
Yeah.
This is the action that we need. Can't nobody solve this but you. That's it.
But it also goes back to what Mary Bosley said right here at the Jubilee Church. They have this new, is it a clinic or what resources is? Let me see, Mary.
What is it?
The Jubilee Church. It goes back to putting ourselves in position that we can use these resources that are out here for us. So the open house of the ribbon cutting ceremony, October the 15th, Jubilee Community Church, offered mental health resources. So we got to realize that we with all the trauma, drama brings trauma. So if you're in the middle of some drama,
Say that again.
Drama brings trauma. Drama brings trauma. And I tell people, listen, I don't do drama because I don't have time for trauma. So it's important to realize that you got to get your mind right. And so, like Mary Bosley said earlier, we have family members that we know need assistance, and we just don't even really know how to go about helping them. Sometimes we have to get educated. Sometimes you may have to just get literature and sit, because sometimes you can get a family member that's like, listen, I don't hear nothing you have to say, and they become very angry.
Yes, they do.
They become very toxic, and they could even become threatening to you. So just sometimes you may have to just, like we do with our people when we know that they may drink too much or they may smoke too much or something like that. You just sit the literature out and let them run into it on an accident in the bathroom on the mirror.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just in case you might want to go get some help, we just put the phone number right there where you know they're going to see it in a space in your home. Because sometimes people can be so confrontational that you don't even know how to address them in a manner that they will receive you.
Mm-hmm.
So you plant the seed, and when you plant the seed, you begin to collect more resources until you can reach that individual. That's all you can do.
That's right.
In some cases.
And that's why, moms always had them little basket of magazines and pamphlets in the bathroom. And that was intentional.
Yes.
What was it intended
Why
to do?
you sitting, because it was resources, it was information, it was about jobs,
Yes,
it was about,
yes,
you know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Right.
My mom was good at pointing out jobs and sticking stuff on the refrigerator.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
you
right.
know. Yes.
That's right. Resume help. I remember the
Yes.
pamphlets on,
Mm-hmm.
how to write a resume, things like that. And people will pick it up and because a lot of people, they get caught up in, I don't want nobody to tell me nothing.
Yeah, now, what's up with that?
I have no idea.
Why? I want somebody to tell me something.
If you
tell
don't
me as
know,
much as you think I can get.
But that's what my grandmama, she had a saying, he who knows not that he knows not is a fool.
Yeah. And then we also got that thing where what goes in my house stays in my house, but it don't stay in your house. The stench screech leak underneath the doors. I mean, when you walk out, everybody know you look like you're fine, but people, it's not a secret. People can see the toxicity. It's just not a secret.
All right, we about ready to get back in. Yeah. Okay, let's hit it.
Tell us when you're ready.
Be ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. We were just talking about the fact that St. Louis is leading the country. We're at the bottom, y'all. We're at the bottom of being the least safe city in America. The least safe city in America. But there's one thing about being at the bottom. There's only one way but up.
There's only one way but up.
There's only one way but up. And we've got to, as Carla May is saying, we got to do what we got to do to help each other. See, that's a stop turning on each other and start turning to each other. So why are people so violent? Particularly the younger folks. I mean, why are they so quick to hit somebody upside the head or want to fight or want to pull the gun to resolve just simple things?
And that's
Simple
because
things.
people are not in control of their emotions.
That's it.
And most times, what I found is they make bad decisions and then they're upset with the individual that they made this bad decision with, and they want to punish that person because that person didn't act in a way that they thought they should act. Just like, I'm going to give you an example, somebody cheating on somebody. So this person wants these, because these domestic violence cases are becoming
increasing.
And so police are showing up, and these cases are becoming threatening for the police officers.
Yes.
And so you have an individual who has cheated on you, but you want to kill him. You got to walk
you
away.
Kill him?
Right, you have to walk away.
It ain't that bad.
And then they'll say,
But
well,
see, it's about this. It's not so much about bad, but they look at it like this person is a piece of property. They don't value them as a human being because they see them as no different than you took my car. So
Really?
it's not about that I'm
They
so
see it
in
as a
love
piece
with
of
you.
property?
It's just a piece of property. And I tell people, and I'm just going to say this. I tell people, you have to realize, woman, man, that vagina and that penis don't belong to you.
Oh, Jesus.
It doesn't. And when you get that through
You can
your
take
head.
it someplace else, huh?
that's right.
Sir.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
So when you get that through your head that it's not property, it's on loan. It don't belong to you. Then you can say to yourself, okay, she stepped out on me or he stepped out on me, and go about your business. If you don't like it, then just move on.
But I
you
think,
don't kill them.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, what they're holding on to is the investment that they made in that individual. I hear things like, I bought them this, I
Now,
did
some
this.
of the women are
and,
taking care of the men.
That's right.
That's
But you
just
got,
all it
but
out.
you got
Some,
right,
or
some
most.
of them, or some, and
Yeah.
it's the other way around.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? But I've made
Right,
this
though.
investment in them.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I've been
I've seen
paying
that.
these bills.
I've
You know what I'm
seen
saying?
that.
And she got the
Yes.
nerve to be over here.
I've seen
You get
that.
me? And so I
So
understand
you think
that
when he
that's,
say he's paying those bills, I purchased that.
that's right. Exactly.
But he don't own it.
He don't.
And you can move it. It's mobile.
Right.
Come on
and
now.
so you made a decision to make that investment. That was a bad investment.
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
probably had signs it was a bad investment before you made the investment.
Yes.
You know, but you wasn't yielding to those signs.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is we have to get conflict resolution, get our emotions under control, and say,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to move forward
Yes.
and let that go. You
Yeah,
get me?
leave it,
Because
yeah.
that is toxic for me.
Yes.
And if I do something to this person, see, that's my critical thinking coming in.
Your
If I
actions.
do something to this person, then my actions are going to cause me to be, my life to be disrupted. Now I'm going to be locked up in jail. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to lose my job messing with this person.
But I
so
remember talking
you
to
got to
Dr.
let them go.
Punch.
With Dr. Punch.
And Dr. Punch was saying that a lot of times when you're dealing with people with the lack of emotional intelligence that they should have, there is a frontal cortex. There's some type of lack of development in that area that
Oh,
gives them
come on
an
now.
opportunity.
The lack of development. What are you
Because
trying to
gotta
say in the
look at-
brain?
Look at some of the people that are committing these crimes. You know, something is going on, and it's not just, you know, I'm here.
on
now
now.
I know that some people are out here committing crimes because they need to eat or whatever. But it's some of them that are out here committing. I look at some of the people they lock up and arrest, and you can tell that they might be diagnosed with MMR,
What is that?
mild mental retardation. They call it intellectual
Mild
You know,
mental
some people-
retardation.
Well, there is
You can
behavior.
Let me
see
write
it.
that down.
You know, so the new
Mild
term now is
mental
intellectually
retardation.
disabled.
It is
You know,
intellectually
that's the new
mental,
ID, intellectually disabled, but it's the same
or
thing as
behavioral,
can
health
see
issue.
it. You see the person, they put the picture all up on, and this person did it. You say you knew this person wasn't all the way there.
Yeah. And so this is what we're doing. We got to take a side note because, listen, they just posted an hour ago, police issued missing person advisory for 2 young St. Louis County
Yeah, that
children.
was earlier this week.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were. They did the missing persons report today.
Where were
on
they missing
October
from?
6th. It says an endangered persons advisory has been issued for them. Who were last seen on Sunday. Iman Henley is 5, and his 4-year-old brother Inez. And they're asking police for help. They got a phone number. If you know anything, call 636-529-8210.
Well, let's get down into that a little
They
bit.
talking
now.
about- they
where
said-
were they missing from? In front of the house? Out
Let's
the
say
house?
they said the 2 were last seen on Sunday in the 10,800 block of Halstead Drive in North County.
Walking by themselves?
Neither the boy's family nor the Division of Family Service officials know where the children are.
Wait, hold on now. What are the
Oh,
ages
yeah.
again?
That's right.
What are the ages again?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Now, there somebody adult is nearby. So now what's going on with that?
Evidently, it was an adult nearby.
Well, I mean, you don't have just a 4 and a 5 outside by themselves. Maybe you do, but somebody's close by.
But let me tell you something. Like, when you think about this, we got to really deal with parenting, because I was in the park. Let me tell you, leaving a meeting, it was dark, and we coming across the little bridge. 2 ladies talking to each other. The young boy and the young girl behind them walking. They're holding hands, and they are like 3 and 4 little children
Behind them.
It's a distance,
Not in front of them.
Not in front of them. It's a distance between them. I could have snatched both of them, put my hand over their mouth, and disappeared in the dark, and they never would have knew.
Because they engaged in
then
conversation.
They didn't even hear me walking up on them with these kids. You get me? They just talking, and they done walked onto the car, and the little kids just coming down the steps. And I'm saying to myself, this a problem. You get what I mean? They was behind them. Right. And so, as a parent, you notice things like that.
No, absolutely. Now, in terms of these kids here, where is the mama? Where is the daddy? What the mama say?
It don't say. They say anyone who has seen the children or a vehicle person. They said neither the boys' family, nor the Division of Family Service officials know where the children are. That's what it says.
Does somebody know where the parents are? Where is the mama? Where is the daddy? We got to start there.
Yeah.
Where was the last time you saw these 2 kids? Where were you?
They said the last time they saw them was Sunday. And so,
that's the last time they were seen. But who saw them?
Who saw them last?
Who is it that reported the sighting? Was it mama or daddy, or was it a neighbor that reported it?
Right. Yeah. So this is Saturday morning. So that was on the advisory went out on October the 6th, which is Wednesday. So what we're looking at right now is, this is an issue.
These kids, they gonna try to. We gotta find them. They gotta find them.
They are the cutest.
They so
kids.
pretty. Look at
that.
So pretty. So we got 173 assaults out of 180 cities. We ranked number 173. Look at this one. Out of the hate crimes, we ranked number 65th out of 180 when it comes to hate crimes per capita. 65th out of 180. And I guess you all were just talking about that, where it's not necessarily a hate crime, but it's anger.
Yes.
It's an anger crime. Assaults where people are just going off on each other. Now, hate crimes, what is that? Who wants to define what a hate crime is? Is that doing something against another particular person because of their race, creed, color, or sexual preference? Huh?
Sounds good, Mayor.
So
We'll take
so we're ranking number 65 out of that. Okay. 40% of our households, only 40% of our households have emergency savings. Well, that's more than what I thought. I didn't think too many people had any emergency savings.
25% poverty rate in the 114 counties in Missouri. A lot of these counties are at 20% poverty.
Yes. 113th of the population, we rank 113th with the lowest percentage of uninsured people. Out of 180 cities, we rank 113th of the people with no insurance. No insurance, an uninsured population. All right. Now, I'm not talking about life insurance, talking about health insurance.
Right. And so, I had a meeting earlier, and we were talking about, how to deal with some of the healthcare disparities, but we're also trying to figure out, since we've expanded Medicaid and, the courts supported it, what's next? We're going to have to get funding into the budget in order to get those things funded so these people can get on the rolls and get this health care, because, the common thing is to have your health. A healthy society, is a thriving society.
Well, that's right. Number 95 out of 180 with COVID deaths. More people in St. Louis in this area are dying from COVID, and we're ranking 95 out of 180. And I told you, we just talked about that. Get the shot. That's very simple. Get the shot. That's all you got to do. Get the shot. And quit. Well, you can talk about it as much as you want, these conspiracy theories and what it is that they putting in your arm and all of that. But the stuff is working, friends. It's working. Now, out of the millions and millions of people that have gotten the shot, yeah, we've had some instances. Yeah, we've had some instances. Anytime you do something like this, what is this called? A mass inoculation. That's what we're doing. It's a mass inoculation. And so we're going to experience some problems, but not near as many as how many people dead? 700,000?
Yeah.
Not many. Not near as many as that.
And we had people concerned about, we have to take a booster shot, and why do we have to take a booster, and why we need so many. But when you look at the hepatitis B series, there's 3 shots that are required in order to be fully vaccinated with that hepatitis B. Hepatitis A require a couple of shots themselves. So it's not uncommon that you would have to have a series of shots. The flu vaccination is something we have to take annually, because when you get that vaccination, it's just not enough to sustain you year after year after year. And so it's important for people just to realize the science behind it. And like I say, we know this is still new and they're still developing. But what the numbers have shown is that when you get vaccinated and when we wear a mask, then we are able to contain and kind of put a lid on this COVID-19 virus.
That's right. And see, when I got my shot, it didn't stop me from getting it because I got it again. All right. But it wasn't near as bad as it was the first time. That second encounter, with COVID it just slowed me down for about 3 or 4 days. But this other one, that first one, that was the real deal. So even if you get the shot, you still run the chance of catching it, but it's not near as bad as it would be if you don't get it. So get the shot. Get the shot.
So have you had a booster?
No, I got to get one. I got to get one. Do you have a booster?
No, I was just listening to the the TV and trying to figure out who's supposed to get a booster and who doesn't. What's the
Well, I'm in that age range where I need to get one. I'm supposed to have one, so we got to get that.
We came up with 65 and older. I'll go back and read it again.
But even though, so you don't know what, because just, what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days, rather, I was under the weather for 3 days. And it had attacked my respiratory so bad, my chest. But I tested negative for COVID. So they was like, it's just basically a chest cold, like, influenza flu. But it was a worse chest cold that I've had. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so is it these, how they say false negative tests? Yeah. But I have never tested positive for COVID. And so they said, well, it was probably just the weather changing. When the weather changed, going from cold to hot, you still have air on in the house, things like that.
Well, I didn't test positive for COVID. But the first time I knew I had it because it just, this is early when it first came out. This is early, like January, February of 2020. But I just felt so bad, and my daughter and everybody was trying to figure out what's going on with him because I wasn't really moving. I wasn't doing anything. Like Felicia said, I wouldn't get out of bed. I mean, for 2 weeks, I was in the bed. So, but the second one, I got tested for COVID, but it came back negative. But I think it was because I went and got the test late. Right. Because I know I had something more than just the flu. But, the thing about that, though, that shot is going to save you. That's right. I'm putting my money on it. I'm putting my money on it, and I'm sure that there are a lot of other people out here that caught it and not here anymore that would have put money on it too. But it's too late now. Don't be like that. Don't go down that road, friends.
Yeah, that's what
Take the shot.
About
Take
price.
the shot.
It's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them.
And so many youth before, the COVID virus was not affecting the youth, but it's impacting so many youth right now. It's just important some children are too young to get the vaccination, so it's important that we try to keep them safe by making sure we take the vaccination. Now, what the vaccination does, we just have to say this because people say, well, if I'm still going to get COVID and I still have to wear a mask, why get the vaccination? The thing about when you get the vaccination, as we said before, you are not going to have those symptoms as bad. Mm-hmm. The percentages for hospitalizations for those that are vaccinated is very low. And definitely the death rate is much lower. I mean, it's like less than 1%.
Tell that.
And so
they don't want to hear it. Yeah, tell the story. They don't want to hear it. See, my daddy used to always say, son, some people don't want to be confused with the facts.
Yeah.
They don't want to be confused with the facts. You know why? Because when you got the facts, you at least forced to take a look at them, and you're forced to take them into consideration. See, they people out here running with the conspiracy theory and all. They don't want facts. They just want to be free to just run and spread this misinformation. And that's all part of the problem. But take the shot. I'm telling you, take that shot.
So I know we're about to, go on a break, and I wanted to know, have you been talking about the, what's really happening right now with the Strickland case? How they have with the Kevin Strickland case, they've assigned a judge, and the Supreme Court has basically invalidated all of the judges in the 16th Circuit.
Invalidate them?
Well, what they said was that the Missouri Supreme Court prohibited the judges in the 16th Judicial District based in Jackson County from presiding over the hearing. None of them in the 16th District. And that came
So they got
about
disqualified?
because the Attorney General said that all of those judges were biased in favor of Kevin Strickland's innocence. So they shouldn't
How would the Attorney General know?
He said based on a letter that he cited, a letter that he had got from the presiding judge, the circuit's presiding judge, that said he agrees that Strickland was wrongly convicted. And so they had to put in that
he was wrongly convicted?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said so Gene Peters Baker has brought the case, but they have been fighting it. It seems though that the Attorney General has been fighting it, getting this man released, when it has been overwhelmingly saying that, back, 40 years ago in this triple murder, that the evidence shows that this man didn't commit this crime. So they had to put in Judge James Wells was scheduled to hear it Tuesday, to hear the new evidence or the new charges. So this is an interesting case.
Okay, so it's
and
steady developing.
It should develop.
Okay.
People should steady be watching this because, you got all of these elections coming up in 2022, and these people are running for election. And if you have, all of this overwhelming evidence showing something, and somebody else is fighting against the release, I mean, I just hate to, put it out there, but, they pardon people who, agreed that they had committed a crime or pled guilty to a crime. And this man got evidence showing that he's not guilty. So
let's keep watching it. Let's just keep watching it and see how it unfolds. Well, again, it's time for another break. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 Hallelujah AM. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now, here's the other thing. St. Louis. We're tied with Chicago. We're tied with Washington, D.C. We're tied with New York City for the most law enforcement employees per capita. We got just as many per capita police officers and law enforcement employees as Chicago, as Washington, D.C., and as New York, you see. Just as many, yes. The study says the least safe cities, St. Louis at 182, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 181, San Bernardino, California, 180, and 179 Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Yeah. This is not good company, friends. This is not good company. And you really don't want to be in this grouping. I mean, think about it. Out of 180 cities in America, we down at the bottom. We pulling up the bottom. 180 cities in America. We're at the bottom. Mm-hmm. We are at the bottom. So, like we've been talking about, that just because we're at the bottom, don't mean we have to stay at the bottom. Problems are opportunities. So now we have the opportunity to do something better. Now we have the opportunity to work on this stuff. And, we can work on them, like Carla May said, block by block. Yeah. Yes. Just talking to your neighbors. And the problem now, though, Carla May, you got people don't even know who their neighbors are.
They don't know who their neighbors are.
They don't even know them.
You have people talking about, I don't vote. I don't do that. That is, to me, I don't know how to categorize that.
Yeah,
and people get offended, because you trying to figure out, well, I don't understand why you wouldn't participate in the process that, helps you get, resources. Mm-hmm. You should vote. You paying taxes.
Yes.
Services are supposed to be, given to you. So, these statements are interesting. Yeah. People, they never, and then look, I've been knocking on doors a long time.
Yes, you have.
And I've had doors slammed in my face. Yep. I've had people say the craziest stuff, but it is getting old. You get me? And we're going to have to agree that we need to get knowledge and accept the knowledge and change instead of being stuck in ignorance.
Well, like I said, some people don't want to be confused with the facts. Dr. King used to always say, he said, why so tall as to reach the pole or grasp the ocean at a span? I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. It doesn't cost you anything to improve your mind. It's information just all around you, everywhere. And now the beauty about this is with these phones, you can Google almost anything. Right. Now, the danger with that is some of you can Google something and think you're expert because you Googled it and read it, but that doesn't make you an expert. It does make you a little more knowledgeable. It makes you a little more knowledgeable, and you can have a decent conversation with the information that you've gleaned.
That's right.
But it does not make you an authority.
That's right, because I told a young man the other day, you got a smartphone in your hand, use it. I told him. I said, you got to ask that smartphone that question.
That's right. That's right.
And it'll come up with some answers.
All the time.
That's right.
All the time.
At least it'll point you in some direction.
That's right. As opposed to you out here just talking about something that you don't know nothing about.
Right.
But you got an opinion.
I'm hungry. Just look for resources for food.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's do it. Yeah. We getting there.
7, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah. We are really covering a few issues here, but we've kind of been talking about St. Louis ranking the least safe city in America. The least safe city in America. We're 180 in traffic fatalities. We rank 173rd in assaults. We rank 65 in hate crimes. We rank 113 in uninsured people who need health insurance. And we rank number 95 in the average COVID-19 deaths in the past week. These are numbers that I'm not proud of. I don't know about you, but some of you probably say, oh man, keep going, go on. I don't want to hear about that. But all of this affects you. You fall in here. You fall in here. Yeah, you rank in here with these numbers. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's true. So let us do some intro what is it? How do you let us look inside? Turn. What Michael Jackson used to say? I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm gonna get him to try to change his ways. Yeah, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself some of these serious questions. Where do you fall? Huh? Where do you fall when it comes down to addressing any of these issues? Ask yourself that before you just go out, get in the car, and start smoking the funky weed. Yeah. Ask yourself, what are you doing about the 173rd assaults before you go out in the car and start smoking the funky weed? Or are you going out there to add to this number or help us get lower in the numbers? Huh? Ask yourself that question when you go outside about the 180 traffic fatalities. Who did you hit? What car did you go smashing into?
Boy, and they running red lights like
oh
crazy.
Yes, I'm trying to
just
tell you,
sitting
it
at
don't
the
make
light
no
and
sense.
It's lawlessness, but
Would you say lawlessness?
It is
Yes,
lawlessness.
okay, it is.
And 2 Timothy tells you that we in these last times, people are going to be lawless.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Lovers of themselves is what it says.
Lovers of themselves?
Yes. Don't
What
even
does
let
that
me pull
mean?
the scripture out.
What does
that
that mean?
means no care for nobody else but them
yourself.
and what they want.
Okay, yeah. Well, now you're right, Carla. You're sitting at the light. If you're in that far left lane, that turning lane, you know how you got those yellow stripes out in the street where people can go into and turn left. Well, now you got people that'll be you at the light. They'll be coming from behind you, and they'll go over into the far left lane and go through the damn light.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
Not caring who's coming, not caring what direction some other car might be traveling in. And they're gonna hit somebody, and then they're gonna hit somebody.
That's
So,
right. So that's another thing. But that age-old song they used to sing when I was little at church. If I can just help somebody as I travel along the way, then my living will not be in vain. Oh, my living will not be in vain. But don't nobody think about that.
Yeah.
We have to think about, I don't know, helping people.
Yeah.
Caring, understanding all the stories. All the stories to me matter. And I was talking to some young ladies. They do a podcast. I have to give them a shout out. They were phenomenal.
Not On Your Now. Not the On Your Now show.
No, this was
Okay.
she said I got to look at my email so I can figure out, I know one of them is Alicia Saunier and
Okay.
and
She's on the board.
Her partner was let me get it. I got it. I think it was she gonna get me because I'm getting it will come to me very quickly.
Felicia, we get any more people?
But they had a podcast.
Well, I do want to make a mention that St. Louis County has launched their vaccination initiative where you can actually get paid. I think it's $100 and gift card for food or a $50 gift card for gas.
For getting the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
St. Louis County.
Yeah. Maybe I
So
should.
that's a what's in it for you.
Yeah. That's and that's the case for most people, right? What's in it for me?
Yeah, people want to know what's in it for me. So, that gives you a what's in it for me.
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing. If you're having problems with your girlfriend or if you're having problems with your boyfriend, think twice about going to a hotel with them and you're still arguing, because the police, I think they might have found the guy who pushed his girlfriend off a seventh floor balcony. Yeah. Just mad at her. Like Carla Mae was saying, and Felicia talking about people thinking people belong to them. That's not the case. But you shouldn't let it run that deep. Why would you let it run that deep? You're going to push your girlfriend off the balcony on the 7th floor of the hotel.
Really?
Huh? Just pushed off. They say that she didn't even know what was coming.
Oh, my God.
Didn't know what was coming. He just pushed her on off of there. So think twice if you got girlfriend or
thing is that-
boyfriend, you're arguing with them.
they're leaving behind children.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? You take the mom, you take the father's life with these senseless murders, and they're leaving behind children.
well, that is the case, but it shouldn't even have to go that far. You shouldn't have to think about what they leaving behind. You are doing something to a person, a human being.
Yes.
So what about them? Yeah, they got family and they got children, but what about them as an individual?
They not
Why
thinking
hurt
about that.
them?
They,
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
It's something. This emotional state of mind is interesting. I mean, I am just seeing it, being out there, and it's something that is actually, when you're looking at this person and you're talking to them, it's like a delicate conversation because you're trying to move them beyond where they are and trying
Yes.
to actually get them to reason beyond that. And so while you're talking about this person, you said this happened, somebody pushed somebody off
Yeah.
the 7th floor.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? At that moment, and then they think about it. Now your whole life is over. You done pushed
Oh,
this
yeah.
person off the 7th floor. Now you're gonna be in jail 100 years. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Yeah.
think they got
It's
it.
crazy.
I think they got it.
Or death penalty, 100. He'll be waiting, but you have to take a look at who you're impacting, the community, the family. If people would just consider other people, maybe we can cut back
Cut back on what?
on the hate, on the trauma, and the killings and the pain we're causing one another.
Well,
You could just
and so
consider someone
but you got to
else.
listen to this though, because they say people that's been abused abuse. People that's
Yeah, of
in
course,
pain
of
hurt
course.
people.
Yes.
hurt people. People that have pain cause pain.
But I hear
And
them
so-
say, heal people.
That's right.
So head on over to Jubilee Community Center and
Right.
start your healing.
Yes.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's never too late.
I do want to make a mention, though. St.
Go ahead.
Louis County has given a lot of money to those who were losing their homes, rental assistance. And
Yeah, they got the money now.
they got the money. So
They
if you
got
need
it
some
out finally.
assistance-
Shoot, I need to find out.
She said, I need to find out. It's St. Louis County. So you want to make sure you reach out to them if you are in need of rental assistance. So those funds are there.
Well, we still have the situation with the clinic named Homer G. Phillips Hospital. We had Zenobia Thompson on here, was it maybe 2 weeks ago? And we did a good job. She did a fantastic job of giving her a historical perspective on Homer G. Phillips Hospital and
But I
what
don't
all it meant
understand
and means
why
to us.
that they have to name it Homer G. I mean,
Yeah, that's the
because
question, right.
and
Go ahead.
for me, what you're doing seems like it's noble. Starting this 3-bedroom hospital and building up to, this teaching hospital, whatever you're trying to do. Why would you grab that name out of history and make it that? Because you don't understand the significance or the impact or the historical significance.
Well-
And so why couldn't you just I think if you would have named it anything else, you would have had so much community support for what you were trying to do. But because you named it this,
Yeah.
it's like, why would you do that? Who would come up with that?
Well, they did it. It was the machinations, you see, the machinations of a hired Negro that was on the team to pull a rabbit out of his hat and get immediate buy-in. That's what that was all about. See, the community has had serious problems with Paul McKee for the last 5-6 years that he's been down there. Sitting on all this property, owning all this land, and doing nothing with it. He's been speculating. Now, come NGA helped Paul McKee survive. Now, Paul McKee didn't go get NGA. NGA picked St. Louis out of a list of 3 cities. And it just so happened it was a windfall for Paul McKee because it helped him save some of his bacon because he still owes probably over $50 million to one of these banks. And so the money that he sold that property for is money that goes to that bank to bail him out. But still, with all of this, the discuss, with all of them mistrust, you still got Car Square down there where he screwed those people, didn't cut them in on the development fees, told him he was going to develop the school, still didn't do that. So there's a lot of distrust down there. And so what do you do? As a white man, what do? You say, look, I got some Negroes here on my staff. Y'all come up with something to help bail me out. Come up with something to help bail me out. And guess what? Here, somebody got their hand up. Somebody got their hand up. And then they say, I got it. I got it. Let's name it after Homer G. Phillips. Let's name it a Homer G. Phillips Hospital. That way they'll be suckered in. Yeah, that's what that play was.
But
that was a play, but that's going nowhere in terms of this community. And that, I'm gonna be quiet. That black person who came up with that, that person that did that, that person that said that, has no regard for this community. He was thinking only, like you say, only about himself, only about the money that he's making, only about the money that he gets every month from being part of that team. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Why would you do that? A white person couldn't have done. That's something black. That's something that a black person thought of. That's something that a black person had the nerve enough to get up and say, let's do this. Shame on you. Shame on you. But you know what? He at night when the demons come, he has his moments. Yeah. The demons definitely are upon him at night.
But
he don't sleep.
I mean, but they should go back and change that. Take that name off.
It ain't too late.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
Take that off because this is not representative of what we had.
That's right.
And you could never go back and reclaim that.
Never.
So if you want to create, right?
They're headed to court to plead that, to fight that he does not use that name, to my understanding.
I didn't know that. It has a lawsuit been filed?
Why does Paul McKee persist in disrespecting and appropriating Homer G. Phillips' name despite the outcry against it? And it says community plans to challenge Paul McKee in person in the courtroom.
Okay, they plan to file something. But, right now they're probably trying to figure out what cause of action they might have. Is his property? Is his property? And Paul McKee, and the word Homer G. Phillips, I don't think anybody has a patent on it, a trademark.
But you can substantiate something because of his historical significance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
It has to be something, in law that says that, I remember, one case, you had rollerblades and inline skates. Rollerblades almost lost their name.
Right.
Because it became synonymous with inline skates.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
So so when you're looking at that, those are some precedented cases, that can be stated because Homer G was, has historical significance. And anybody who has not seen The Color of Madison need to look at The Color of Madison.
It's a really good one, yeah.
And it's really good, telling the historical significance. I remember, back in them days, when we were picketing, that I was a kid and the environment was so charged and they were all circled around Homer G. Phillips in them chairs. I remember they sent dogs, helicopters, everything coming to lock them people up for trying to prevent them from closing the hospital.
I remember your mom used to bring you up there.
Yeah, I used to be carrying them signs.
That's right.
And
My
stuff.
Daddy,
That's
Mary Ross, Zenobia Thompson.
That's right.
Percy Green. I mean, all of those people were up there, not one day, for months. Months they kept up a vigil to prevent those people from moving that hospital out of there.
And I mean, I never forget them locking them up, going to jail for all of that. And when you're a child and you're looking at all of this, the emotion, I don't know how to describe it. The charge that comes on you as a child. You get what I'm saying? To change, it forever changes you. You get me?
Yeah.
And so I think it made you the awakening of your social justice consciousness.
Absolutely.
Back then was charred, and I think that's why I'm where I am now. Still fighting these what I call wrongs.
Yeah, well,
Trying to right wrongs. And I guess we'll spend the rest of
our
our life
lives.
trying to do it.
That's right. Those of us who are that committed.
That's right.
You see, those of us who are that committed, and those of us who just refuse to be bought off. You see that those are issues like this issue here. The Homer G. Phillips, the historic name, that'll make him sick to his stomach.
And he ought to
He ought to
remove
be-
it. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Why are you causing the community this distress? Why not remove it? But anyway, on another note,
Okay, we switching gears.
we switching gears just
Okay.
for a minute because I want to give a shout out to these two young ladies. Oh my God. They have a podcast called Black Tea STL. And it's a media organization, and it's the co-founder is Alicia Saunier. She's the City of St. Louis Board of Education member, and
Yeah.
Jamie Cox.
She's been on here.
Yeah, she has.
yeah.
Two 25-year-old black women with a passion for good kiki, community and politics. The goal of the show is to raise political, social, and cultural consciousness by engaging the masses in a conversational and entertaining way. And so I had the pleasure of sitting with them on their podcast on yesterday. And these are phenomenal, bright women. And they're that age group, that 25-year-old right there, where those individuals need their social consciousness awoken. And they want to, and I was trying to tell them, they was like, well, what's your story? How do you get where you are? I told them, you just don't, it didn't start right here. I told them it started with a simple problem in the community. And that's what I'm trying to get people to say. We're going back to that block. It started with the simple problem of not having clean alleys. Started with the problem of all of these abandoned homes on the block. City owning this property. I never forget Acorn.
Oh God!
We ran a meeting that Saturday, that weekend, where we all came together and we went to these homes, and we had people that did carpentry, light bulbs, electrician, and we fixed up homes, and we moved families who didn't have places to stay into those homes. We basically took those homes from the city hall, and I remember we marched on City Hall, the mayor's office at that time.
Yes. Absolutely.
It was Mayor Shamewell at that
Yeah,
time.
that's
and
right.
protested,
Yeah.
the fact that you had these homes in the blocks in these communities. See, people want to say, I always tell people, I understand Ferguson was an awakening. You get me? But see, we was woke doing protests and marching and stuff way before then.
Way before then. That's right.
And we've continued in this fight.
Yes.
For a long time.
Absolutely. Yes. The struggle continues.
Oh,
It goes
my God.
on and on and on. And in some respects, we're losing ground. We got more damn black elected officials now than we ever had. We got a black mayor, black comptroller, black president, board of aldermen, black treasurer, black circuit attorney. We got black director of public safety. We got black police chief. What in the hell is going on around here?
And we got appointed black, but listen,
it's a
this
blackout.
this has been in the last 5 years. You can't overturn 40 years of stuff in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so what I'm saying. So these individuals are going to have to jail together.
Right. All right, let's go to a break. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Keep it on lock. Quit playing.
All right.
Yeah,
Are we on break or we got one last segment, brother?
we got another segment.
One more second. Okay, good.
Yeah.
How long is the next segment?
Should be 10 minutes. Is it 10 or 12? 10.
See? Is that the
So-
last? That ain't the last one, is it?
It should be. Yeah, we've
No.
been rolling.
Well, we've been wrong.
Am I right, brother?
Really?
We got 10
Okay.
minutes left. So I want to make sure that we give a shout out to
Let me make
Edith
sure I
Coleman,
got
the
all my
registered
stuff.
nurse who passed away. She's historian, parliamentarian.
No black businesses got shouted out this week or last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to continue to shout out the Black Tea STL. You can go to Black Tea Spotify to listen to it, Black Tea Apple Podcast, Black Tea Amazon Podcast, and they got a Black Tea website. Check out my sisters.
Definitely want to shout out Precious Days Learning Academy, 8119 Airport Road. They are accepting applications. They are accredited by the state of Missouri, a child care center, 6 weeks to 14 years of age. So look them up. Precious Days Learning Academy, 8119 Airport Road, right there in Berkeley. All right. Who else we shout out today?
Well, I was trying to say a little something about Aries, but I didn't have that information on that flyer without Brother Shaheed being here to help us out. But he's always pushing for Aries, and I know why, because that stir fry is so good.
Oh yeah.
So they are located at 5572 Natural Bridge Avenue, 63120. Phone number there is 314-328-2992. And I'm going to tell you, I love the salmon croquette.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
And those
they
the
open
potatoes
right
are good
now?
too. The potatoes are delicious.
I'm so hungry.
Well, here's the thing. Somebody sent me this last week. I saved it. It says, never argue with a fool. People may not know the difference. Never argue with a fool. People may not know the difference. I guess as we're probably saying that if you're arguing with a fool, it makes you look like a fool. Yeah,
They won't know the difference.
Yeah, that's the key to all of that. So
Say that.
yes, that's right. Got never argue with a fool. Yeah.
Well, we have a lot to accomplish, and in this next 10 minutes, I'm going to give a rundown of what we're getting ready to expect in the next year, 3 years. And so this is a opportune time for people to engage, because what we're looking at now is you're getting ready to redraw the lines. That means anybody can run in any district in the state of Missouri, anywhere. You can run, and then you just have a year to move in there.
Oh, you can run and then
Anywhere.
move in.
That's
For-
right. Then
that's for
move
state
in.
reps and state senators.
Yes, that's for all
State rep
state,
and
yeah,
state
all
senators.
state and U.S. seats.
Okay.
That's right. That's
Does
right.
apply?
Yes.
Does that apply to local offices?
I have to check on the local, but
Okay.
but I think it applies to local too.
Okay.
Now, what is this going on in St. Louis County where they have two Republicans that are holding positions, two positions? You're not supposed to hold a position and then be in the commissioner's office. Wesley Bell is getting ready to see about maybe removing two of the Republicans. You all familiar with that? Not? I'll look it up real quick.
Well,
Yeah,
while
I'm
we're
not
doing
sure.
that, we got to give a shout out to Darren Cunningham. You know that Jubilee Trucking Academy.
Yes.
They were on here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and hey, listen, they got calls from being on the show, so they got people in the class that listened to this show. So it's going to be interesting to see when they complete it. I'd like to get some of those people on the show to talk about their
And
experience.
tell
But-
them that's training you to be an
And it's at
over
the
the
same
road
place where you can get the mental
Yes.
health services. It's the
Truck
same
driver.
Over the road truck
location.
driver. They're located at 4231 North Grand Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri,
Same place.
63107.
Yeah.
Now, I had a guy call me wanting to get a job, and I referred him to Jubilee Trucking Academy. Okay. So they called me back. Jubilee called me back and said, hey, we haven't heard from the guy. Where is he? And so I waited for him to call me again or text me, and I asked him. I said, did you go down to Jubilee? Well, no, I didn't make it. I'm having transportation problems. So I said, okay, hold the phone. So I called Jubilee. I said, well, this guy is having transportation problems. Is there some way we can work something out? He said, Freeman, if he can make it down here, we'll take him to work and we'll take him home. We'll take him to work and take him home. So what is the excuse now? So that's my next step. What is going to be your excuse now? They're gonna take you to work and they're gonna take you home. See, so all you gotta do is just get there. So now what? And I know people that have mastered the transportation system in St. Louis. That they just get on a bus and go wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
I know people that just get on the bus. You know, at first it was painful for them because they had a car, but now it's convenient for them. And the other thing about it, with the bus schedule, you can look at it on your phone and you can almost see where the bus is.
And you know the bus is only $1 now since the pandemic.
Okay, and you can
listen,
see where the bus is.
And another thing too is the number been the same forever, and you can call and find out when it's coming. 2 3.
That's right.
Or you
2
can
3
use
1
that
2 3 4
smartphone.
5.
Or you
Or
can
you can
use
use that smartphone.
And see, people, let us stop using excuses.
Because they got smartphones. Everybody
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
who don't have a job still got a phone.
Still got a phone. Let us stop making up excuses for not being able to do things. This place, Jubilee Trucking, they will train you to be an over-the-road truck driver where you can make $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year.
But well,
You hear what I'm saying?
Well, let's
Up from nothing.
100,000.
Well, let's talk about this too,
Yeah.
though, because right now, you know, it's a lot of construction getting ready to happen. So people need to look into applying for the trades right now. Be a carpenter, electrician, a plumber, pipe fitter, laborer. You know, they just had the elevator constructors who opened their apprenticeship. That's $25 an hour starting off, getting paid every week. So there's no excuse. You need to, you know, find out all of these places. You can look them up on your phone,
Yes.
and it will tell you how to go, and you just go there and apply. Go and apply. The Save Our Sons program that they're running at 1408 North Kings Highway, and they got the one out in Ferguson. You need to go there because they have jobs. Not only do they have jobs, they're going to clean you up, put you on the suit, put you on some shoes. They're going to give you interview prep and have you to do the interview right there.
Yes.
I mean, there is no excuse. And then they got other wraparound services. They help you get bus passes and things like that.
Wraparound services.
That's what I call them, wraparound services.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, quiet on set.
Uh-huh.
Last segment, 10 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. We've had a pretty good show today. We've been covering quite a few issues. We talked about the police looking for the guy who pushed his girlfriend off the balcony. I think they got this guy. And St. Louis is ranked #1 of the least safe cities in America. The problems with Homer G. Phillips Hospital and that name. We still got people trying to name a 3-bed hospital, not a 3-bed clinic after Homer G. Phillips. Homer G. Phillips Hospital, for those of you that don't know, remember this. Homer G. Phillips Hospital was a 600-bed facility. 600-bed facility. Now you want to go name a 3-bed facility after Homer G. Phillips? I don't think so.
And even if you have the idea that you're going to grow to that capacity, why cause the confusion in the community? That's
Yes.
just the question.
Well, not the confusion, the angst,
Right.
the emotional upheaval, because that
Exactly.
is a very emotional and personal issue to a lot of people. Man, people
That's
were
right.
born in Homer G. Phillips Hospital
People
and
born
still
in Homer G.
alive.
Phillips, those nurses, the doctors that work there, this is a personal issue. And I think that, you know, I don't understand why. I mean, just do the right thing.
Yeah, right. Well, sometimes that's just difficult.
That
Like
is
my
difficult.
daddy said, some people just don't want to be confused with the facts.
They
That's
don't wanna
right.
be
They
confused with the
just
facts.
don't want to
But
be
listen.
confused with the facts. Go ahead.
We have a short period of time, so I wanted to, you know, give this impact of what's coming up soon. So you have in 2022, all of the state rep seats are up. There will be new lines drawn for those represented districts. You have Senate seats that are up. Yours truly is running for re-election in 2022.
2022?
2022.
August is the
August
primary.
22. August is the primary, 2022. And so all of these seats are being joined. Anybody can run anywhere.
So
and
that
then
means
you have
some-
a year to move into the district.
You could be in St. Louis. Somebody could be out in the county, file for in your district,
Exactly.
and then if they win, they got a year to move into it.
They got a year to move into it. And you have your U.S. Senate seat up. Remember, we got this U.S. Senate seat that's coming up. So we have these statewide offices that are running for re-election. Come on. So we need people to be engaged. We need all of you to be involved. And not only that, the Board of Aldermen, they should have their lines done by December of this year. So they're redrawing the lines on the local level. Those will be done by the end of the year.
What about this now? I heard that they just certified some signatures at the election board that will require that the Board of Aldermen not be involved in the drawing of the boundaries, but there be an independent commission set up to draw the boundaries.
But no, that those signatures, all that did was get them a space on the ballot in April.
Okay.
So that don't mean nothing.
So,
The voters have to approve it.
Okay.
You get
All
what
right.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Good.
basically the Board of Aldermen, and so, you looking at that process, they talk about commissioners and appointing people. To me, the people that's been elected have already been validated by the people.
Yeah,
the people
that's
have
right.
already voted for these individuals to be elected.
A structure has already been set up.
Structure is already set up, and then you have these new people, commissioners, who is going to appoint them, where they coming from, and have
That's
they
right.
ran for office
Right.
and been out there for public scrutiny.
that's
You
right.
get me? See,
Ain't
elected
ran for
officials-
nothing.
Elected
Don't
officials have
represent
already been out
nobody.
there for public scrutiny.
Yes.
So that's the thing that's coming up, and then that means that in 2023, all of the aldermen have to run for the new seats.
Yes.
In 2023.
Right.
And then in 2024, all the committee people have to run for the 14 lines that
Drawn.
are there, that are
14
drawn. Now they're
districts.
still trying to keep it at 28, so I don't know where that argument is. But, so this is what you got coming up. So
It's a
you're gonna
cabal.
It's a cabal. You got major elections in 2022. You got major elections in 2023 and major elections in 2024.
2024. Right,
That's going to determine how your city and your state is governed
We're going to be
for
rolling.
the next 10 years. So if it's time out now, this is the time for you to really
That's right.
get involved
Plenty
and
of stuff.
have your say so.
That's right. Plenty of stuff for you to participate in.
Yes.
Pick your poison. Plenty of stuff for you to participate in. So don't be walking around and telling me, I don't know who's doing this. I don't know who's doing that. Let's go get involved. You got all these different elections coming up. Get in behind somebody that you like or get in behind somebody that you don't like and defeat them. But the key is participate. That's the key. Participate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about elections, I want to give condolences to the family of registered nurse Mother Edith Cole. She pushed for those to make sure they get their voters' registrations completed. She was an advocate for that. But not only was she a registered nurse, she was also a volunteer for the Ombudsman program, which is the Voice program. And she advocated for those persons that lived in nursing homes, making sure that their rights were not neglected and they received the best care. She also was the historian and parliamentarian for the Black Nurse Association. She was pivotal in our community, and we are going to miss her. And all I can say to my fellow nurses, we must carry the torch. She gave us so much of herself and gave so much wisdom that we will continue to carry the torch from here. And we just give condolences to her family.
Has she been ill?
To my understanding, she had been ill, but I don't know how long. It was I don't think she had been ill that long because she was just on a live and a Zoom or something. And so I really don't know the dynamics of what happened, but I know it was unexpected. Of course, yeah.
So Missouri did an execution in the state.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
This is Ernest Lee Johnson, for a triple murder in 1994. You had two lawmakers who went, to have access to the Bonne Terre, that was in Bonne Terre facility. Two lawmakers, Kimberly Ann Collins and Marlon Anderson, really have been focusing on what they call, reform in the prisons. And so they've been, it's a town hall meeting that's coming up as well that Kimberly Ann is hosting, that's going to talk about, what's happening in these prisons and in state prisons. So they were denied access. The Department of Corrections said that They have protocol that they have to follow, lockdown procedures that they have to follow when they're getting ready to do these executions. And everybody has it's a precise scripted role. But the lawmakers' argument basically is that, state law says that, we can, an elected official, members of the General Assembly are basically authorized to visit the correctional centers of the state at any time. Mm-hmm. So, they had protocol and procedure at that time, so they didn't allow them in. And even after the procedure had taken place and they were off of lockdown, they still didn't allow them access. So I'm sure we'll hear more about the dynamics of that. And if you are interested in, prison reform and what's happening in our state prisons, there is a town hall meeting, and that town hall meeting is taking place on Saturday, October the 23rd at 11 a.m. to 1:15 p.m., and it's going to be at Rankin Technical College, the Mary Ann Lee Auditorium. That's 1313 Newstead Avenue. So it's a town hall meeting talking about prison reform, and it is, the 77 District Representatives Kimberly Ann Collins is hosting that event, and it's crucial. I just met the new director of St. Louis City Corrections, who just took over St. Louis City Corrections, and she's phenomenal. Her name is Jennifer Clemens Abdullah, and she just took over that position for St. Louis City Corrections.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what what she's going to.
We gotta go. Here. Hey, look, guess what? The Cardinals snuck in and got a opportunity to participate in the wild card.
Yes.
And the game is coming up, and hopefully we'll be able to say, "Hooray!"
Go St. Louis.
Go St. Louis. Go Cards.
Louis.
All right.
We hope so.
All right.
They playing right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all your support. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for liking us, sharing us, following us, and tagging us. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Every Saturday morning, it's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Hallelujah. Keep it on lock.
Quit
playing.
Good show.
Well, that ran fast,
Hey,
didn't it?
Facebook, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will see you on next week, Wednesday. Be sure to tune in to KATZ 1600 Hallelujah Praise at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. to get the edited version of this show. We look forward to seeing you on next week.
That's
Have
right.
a great one.
Thank you.
All right.
See, now I look like a teacher. I had to put on
Yeah, you do. A professor.
glasses. See, that's my